The Lean Startup is a book by Eric Ries that proposes a new approach to starting and managing businesses. The book is based on the lean manufacturing principles that were developed by Toyota in the 1980s and offers a new way of thinking about how to start and run a business. Chapter 1: Start. In this chapter, Ries introduces the concept of the Lean Startup, which is a new approach to starting and managing businesses. He argues that traditional approaches to starting a business are often too slow and too expensive, and proposes that entrepreneurs should focus on developing a minimum viable product (MVP) that they can test and refine with real customers. Chapter 2: Define. Ries discusses the importance of defining the problem that the business is trying to solve. He suggests that entrepreneurs should focus on identifying the root cause of the problem, rather than just the symptoms. He also introduces the concept of the 5 whys, a technique for identifying the underlying cause of a problem by asking why 5 times. Chapter 3: Learn. In this chapter, Ries discusses the importance of continuous learning in the Lean Startup approach. He suggests that entrepreneurs should test their assumptions and hypotheses about the business idea using real-world feedback from customers. He also introduces the Build Measure Learn feedback loop, which is a core component of the Lean Startup approach. Chapter 4: Experiment. Ries discusses the importance of experimentation in the Lean Startup approach. He suggests that entrepreneurs should seek to validate their assumptions and test their hypotheses through experiments, rather than relying on their own intuition or assumptions. He also introduces the concept of MVPs, which are a way to test a product or service quickly and with minimal resources. Chapter 5: Leap. In this chapter, Ries discusses the importance of taking calculated risks in the Lean Startup approach. He suggests that entrepreneurs should embrace uncertainty and take small steps towards their goals, rather than trying to plan everything out in advance. He also introduces the concept of the pivot, which is a change in direction that a business makes based on customer feedback. Chapter 6: Test. Ries discusses the importance of testing in the Lean Startup approach. He suggests that entrepreneurs should use tools like A/B testing and customer development to validate their assumptions and refine their product. He also introduces the concept of split testing, which is a technique for comparing the performance of different versions of a product or service. Chapter 7: Measure. In this chapter, Ries discusses the importance of measuring progress and success in the Lean Startup approach. He suggests that entrepreneurs should use specific metrics that are tied to the goals of the business, such as engagement, retention, and revenue. He also introduces the concept of innovation accounting, which is a way to measure progress and success in a way that is tied to the impact of the product on customer behavior. Chapter 8: Pivot or Persevere. Ries discusses the concept of the pivot in more detail in this chapter. He suggests that entrepreneurs should be open to changing direction based on customer feedback, and that they should be willing to abandon a product or service that is not working. He also discusses the importance of perseverance, and suggests that entrepreneurs should be persistent in pursuing their goals, even in the face of failure. Chapter 9: Batch. In this chapter, Ries discusses the importance of batch size in the Lean Startup approach. He suggests that entrepreneurs should focus on small batches of work, and that they should avoid building large, complex products or services all at once. He also introduces the concept of the minimum viable product, MVP, which is a version of the product or service that has just enough features to be useful to early customers. Chapter 10: Grow. Ries discusses the challenges of scaling a business in this chapter. He suggests that entrepreneurs should focus on building a scalable business model, and that they should avoid scaling prematurely. He also introduces the concept of the 3 engines of growth, which are a framework for building a scalable business model that includes the sticky engine, the viral engine, and the paid engine. Chapter 11: Adapt. In this chapter, Ries discusses the importance of adaptability in the Lean Startup approach. He suggests that entrepreneurs should be open to changing direction based on new information or feedback, and that they should be willing to make quick adjustments to their plans. He also introduces the concept of the OODA loop, which is a decision-making framework used in the military that can be adapted to the lean startup approach. Chapter 12, Innovate. Ries discusses the role of innovation in the lean startup approach in this chapter. He suggests that entrepreneurs should focus on creating products and services that are truly innovative, and that they should avoid simply copying what others have already done. He also introduces the concept of the Lean Startup Canvas, which is a tool for visualizing and refining the key components of a business idea. Chapter 13, Epilogue. In the final chapter of the book, Ries reflects on the key themes and principles of the Lean Startup approach. He suggests that the approach is not just about starting a business, but about creating a culture of continuous innovation and learning. He also discusses the challenges of implementing the lean startup approach in larger organizations, and suggests that it requires a significant shift in mindset and culture. Overall, the lean startup presents a compelling case for a new approach to starting and managing businesses. By focusing on continuous learning, experimentation, and adaptation, entrepreneurs can build more successful and innovative businesses, even in the face of uncertainty and risk. The book provides a wealth of practical advice, case studies, and tools for entrepreneurs looking to adopt the lean startup approach. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to our channel for more great content.